Story number 1. The Boardwalk's Hidden Terror. I grew up in a quiet beach town. Summers were bustling, but the off-season turned it into a ghost town. My family lived on Surf Avenue, a block from the beach. I spent nights running the boardwalk, finding peace in the rhythm of my footsteps. But one night, that peace shattered. During a late run, my keys fell through the cracks. I climbed down to the sand, the air heavy with rot and stale beer. As I searched, something tugged my shoelace. I wasn't alone. I scrambled back, but a cold hand grabbed my ankle. I kicked free and ran home. Days later, my shoelace appeared on the doorstep. Whoever, or whatever, was under the boardwalk knew where I lived. Story number 2. The man who stood still. Years later, I returned for a late-night run. The air was crisp, the town silent, but I felt eyes on me. I turned and saw a man standing in the distance, unmoving, just watching. Every time I glanced back, he was closer. I sprinted to my car, but when I turned the key, he stood where my car had been. His face was hidden under a hood, his presence suffocating. I drove home in a panic, locking every door. That night, I dreamed of him chasing me, his face a blur of shadows. Story number 3. The locked bathroom. Last summer, I was back with friends. After a bonfire, I wandered to a public bathroom on the boardwalk. The place reeked of bleach and decay. I entered a stall, but the door wouldn't budge. Footsteps circled the bathroom, stopping near the sinks. I shoved the door open, but the bathroom was empty. The exit was locked. I climbed out a window, locking eyes with a pale, disheveled man. He lunged as I escaped, his face haunting me long after. Story number 4. The fire in the dunes. As a kid, I snuck out to the beach one evening. The town had built massive sand dunes to protect against a hurricane. That night, I saw smoke rising from behind a dune. I climbed up and found a bonfire burning alone. Surrounding it were children's clothes and charred photos. One photo showed a boy who looked eerily like me. Before I could process it, a man staggered toward me, yelling. I ran, his fingernails grazing my ankle as I tumbled over the dune. I never told anyone, but I've always wondered what happened to that boy.